Well, welcome back to another game. I've been feeling very meh about how my chess is. No, let's not move. Has been recently. I'm kind of glad to get the white pieces. I'm having a bit of a complex about what to play with the black pieces. I played an over the board game in the modern and drew against someone like 200 points lower than me, so I'm feeling a bit blah about it. G6. Just start with this. Standard setup. So we played this guy before, SHOWRUG. Sometimes it shows you the game, doesn't it? Oh, that's your previous game. But yeah, this is a pretty standard setup. Maybe they can play knight h5 here. But maybe I'll let them take, and that f pawn might be useful. Okay. Bishop. Well, can I get away with playing knight here? I suppose you do this, don't you? So maybe we don't do that. Maybe you start with this. And throw our h pawn on the board. Yeah, so I'm going to probably look at the stats soon of how many games I've played as black with the modern and how my performance is. Yeah, so now you've castled I'm coming at you. Because I don't feel like it's been that great. But then, okay. I was thinking, but then what do I play instead? So maybe this knight now makes its way over to these squares. Maybe it can sit nicely on e5. And it gives us a potential hook, like knight on e5, maybe we play f3, g4, try and get our queen to somewhere nice, like d3, maybe d2, castle long, bring the other rook over, and then there'll be queens coming in, rooks coming up the board. Let's just draw all the arrows. Knights there, bishops there, everything's on that side of the board. But unlikely that we'll get our own way against a 23-70. So yeah, our chess has not been so fantastic recently. I don't know if it's just a function of tiredness. But I think I might invest some time into tactics because our rating's 2209. I mean, unless we get a win here, it might even tip us below 2200. So now do we just land the knight there? I mean, then their knight comes in here. See, this guy's a bit lost. Maybe he wants to sit here instead. Queen ultimately needs to get out of the way, doesn't it? But I'm thinking if I come here, that gives you a tempo to play this. Maybe, yeah, maybe knight here. I don't know. Knight here, knight here. Queen up, bishop here, pawn up. No. Oh, this is the thematic move, isn't it? So let's play that. I'm supposed to put your knight on e5. Let's do it, even though this is probably coming here. The question is, like, they're going to put their bishop here first. Maybe they can even put it on e6. I was also looking, maybe if my queen comes here, that they could plop it out the other way. So, you know, with my queen here, maybe there'll be some sacrifice ideas. I think just in general, the more pieces you've got pointed towards your opponent's king side, the more likely that tactics can emerge. Because I'm also thinking, like, when the knight comes, I imagine they're going to do this at some point, like maybe take with the pawn, force the knight back, and then maybe there'll be like a sacrifice here, or we can play like g4. Yeah, so can we play g4 here? No, because after takes, they've then got, yeah, so the issue is they've got 1, 2, 3 defenders on it. We'll get queen up here. Like I said, this is my idea. F3, G4. I think maybe their idea will be, I wouldn't be surprised if we see like B5 or an A5 coming now. Take some space on the queen side, such that if I go queen side there, quite quick with a pawn storm. Yeah, so I think B5 might be quite a useful move. Also like B6, and then I can come into E4. Well, maybe I'd start with F3 and like give myself this route. That's why maybe they'll go here, 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 and then here to really starve me of squares. Like this position, I'm sure is flexible. It's kind of good. This is a piece I'd like to move. So yeah, maybe this maneuver. So I think if you take with the bishop, wouldn't you? I have to take with the bishop then here. Okay, so taking on the pawn is interesting, but after this I don't have a good way to. Well, I can then push again, and then takes, and then queen here. Yeah, let's give that a bit more thought then. So if I take with the pawn, where are you going to go with your knight? Maybe you just jump in here. I think I'm going to take the bishop. It was interesting. Maybe I'd like take with the pawn, push the pawn, force them to double up, push the queen. Maybe push the bishop. I'd like push the queen, and if you come here, then I could take there because it's pinned. So if you want to defend the pawn, then your king can come this way, and then just need to go. Yeah, okay, fine. So now we see this B5 plan. It's expected. So the question is, do we get? If we get this and this, is that like takes? I need to chop the knight, but I think it's doable, so let's start with this. Also cuts useful squares for the knight and bishop. And if they, like I say, if they push too early, this is a wonderful square for my knights. I'm also now maybe I can play E4. Or maybe that's a bit weakening, I don't know. It's an interesting position. Maybe we can play bishop here. And they're not concerned about this, it kind of gives them an extra pawn to defend their king side. Now to meet that with this, I imagine. So I could play b3. I could always play like king f2. Is that a bit of a weird move? I could play knight here. Takes. And then with thoughts of coming in here and playing this kind of switch into a positional game, maybe that's not so bad. And this threatening to come into this square, I quite like knight e4. You obviously can't take it because you lose your queen. And if you trade queens, I'm in here. Now I've got easy access to this square. The issue is going to potentially be this e3 pawn, if they can get in like e5. But maybe yeah. So I'm very drawn to knight e4. If they retreat, I jump in here, or I've got options of trading. I'm going to play this. Okay, so we trade queens. Now I wish my pawn was back on f2, I think. So I want to go here and then into here. That's the master plan, or I push here. I think this is the way. I think my king will come up to f2. I think we want an active king. So they've got more space on the queen side, but maybe I'm going to argue that they're overextended. So yeah, simple plan. So I get this nice looking square, but not at the cost of doing that. Bishop here. Takes. Supports the push there. I think is okay. I still feel like this is a pretty balanced game. My interpretation would be the engine would prefer my position in the opening no more than 0.2, maybe 0.3 at push. I'd give this position pretty equal to, maybe black's doing slightly better. So the line I think would be takes, and then knight back here is quite strong. Well, interesting. Oh, fine. Interesting. I was thinking like takes, push. Takes here. I think we use this opportunity to drop our knight in here. And then we're threatening to take and play this. So they've adopted a light squared pawn structure. Yeah, I think we need to be a bit careful with this bishop. So yeah, like I said, my threat is takes in here. Attacking the rook, attacking the bishop, and they can't do both. Well, then maybe my bishop gets trapped. Yep, so they spot it, which is annoying. Yeah, I prefer my position here, I think. Can I chop this knight? Like king f2 was a move I wanted to play. So I don't really want to do takes. Don't think I get much from that. Is there any decent, like, is this any good? Force you to push on there and then I lock it up like so. Yeah, let's have a look at some pawn breaks. So a4. I'm going to start. Yeah, because on takes I can always take back with the knight. a4 push. I feel that's a good structure for me. a4 takes, rook takes, and again I can play this. I want to play a4 before they play a4. Okay, now I've got a target here. This. Let's start with this. Very clogged. Yeah, we've still got 8 pawns, 3 knights. We just traded a queen and a knight. Is that the only thing we traded on the whole board? Okay. This like takes. Okay. Is there a long row in this bishop with g4? And the other moves to consider is, can I play this? That doesn't do anything. Can I play this? Sorry, maybe that's the move. So let's look at this first. Attack the rook. Suppose you take, I'm down a knight, up a bishop, down 2 pieces, check, takes. No, that's no good, I don't think. But, so interesting one was takes, you take here, takes, you take here, bang. You take here, bang. Takes, bang, takes. What do I lose there? Do I lose 4 pawns for a bishop? Takes. Maybe we insert this, maybe we don't. Let's look at it with it in for now. This. Down a pawn. Down 2 pawns. Down 1 pawn. Down 2 pawns for a bishop for 3 pawns. Let's keep it with the bishop on. And they've got the option of taking kind of whenever they want. One pawn down. 2 pawns down. This hurts my head. 1 pawn down. 2 pawns down. 1 pawn down. Suppose insert this. Two pawns down for it, but they get infiltration. Check. I'm picking up here. I don't think I want to give him infiltration. Do I want the piece for 3 pawns? Takes, 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 takes. 1 pawn. 2 pawns, 1 pawn. Two pawns for the piece. 3 pawns are in here. I can take here. You come over. Or I don't. I play this. Let's just clear off some of the pieces. I'm sure I have something here. So, and scrap that, like I can go takes, takes. And this is a draw. Well, it's, takes, takes, bang, 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 bang. Probably bang, bang, bang. Here, here, here. Or maybe they play this. So maybe it's quite difficult to close the. Let me come back here. So here, 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 here. Ah, check, check. Does that do anything? No, it doesn't free up the square. I'm going to go for it. And keep 4.5 minutes to deal with all the complications that I've missed. Let's play g4. Uh-oh, you just take the bishop. You just take the bishop. But that's interesting though. I didn't see it, but on takes, takes, opens up the C file, opens up the G file. Yeah, I'm not so upset by that. Yeah, takes, takes, and then if I get another move, I could push to lock it down over here. Infiltrate. If I get a rook to c5, that's brilliant. Well, they didn't see this from a distance because they're thinking about it. So if they take, then I push. Then they take, I take. Then I think they go takes, takes, takes. I think I come here. No, I can't because you've got a pawn there. Then what do I do with this bishop? Because if I come here, then maybe you play this. Maybe we leave it there, that's fine. We play like this, maybe. Or come over here, and you could double, and you come back, and then takes. Okay. Okay, so here takes, here doubles, or takes, over, back. Maybe just get here. No, we're playing it. I wonder if I had to take the knight. I wonder if... Could I just go for the same line with the knights on? No, because you can take and take. Maybe I could take. Maybe I could have just taken the bishop. Maybe that was the line. And none takes, then this. None takes, then maybe this. Yeah. Interesting, we'll look back at that. Maybe taking the knight wasn't the move. Maybe we should have taken the bishop and left the knight there. Okay, so it goes this way. I prefer this massively. I think I want to play this now. Right, can I defend against 4 pawns running at me? This to stop this. Or do I just try and get control? Try and get a rook in here quickly. So this, maybe then this runs. No, because I take here. This, then maybe this. Yeah, I've got time. I've decided I've got time for this. Maybe the rook wants to come in here. Here we go here. Okay. Get in here, get after this pawn. Maybe king here. Maybe this h pawn runs at some point. How do I feel about this position? Well, it's something that I wanted to get into, right? Up a piece. Okay. I'm going here. I was originally thinking this. Yeah, takes, king here, check. No. There's no pawn push, is there? Here, takes, king here, your pawn is pinned. Here. Thinking this might be strong at the right point. I think I might drop this H pawn. Yeah, the annoying thing is that this pawn, if the rooks come off, it's annoying. That's what it is. So here, pop. Okay, so that's where I want to put my king, but then the rook comes down here. So maybe here? So I don't give you this tempo. So I don't need to give you. Yeah, because I presume you want to do this. So if I go here, here. Also want to play this though. I don't want you to come down here, but if, yeah, same. But this, no, this I lose the rook, so not those squares. I don't want to go there, I can't go there, so it's got to be here. So if I take, then what pawn takes? This here? That's not too bad. Takes here. Then pawn up. Let's try this. Need more time. Maybe takes, then the rook comes down, then up. Maybe end up in the repetition. Them threatening to come over and win the H pawn, but if I get the A pawn, if I get the A pawn, that's a win. Or maybe I can always sneak around the back and your rook's a bit stuck. Okay. So yeah, I wonder if. Oh, yeah, no. If you come here, I go here. Oh, you play that now. Nice. Well, what about this? Check up. Behind the pawn. I take there. You push. I cover the queen square. I'm going up. Play this. Takes push. Also got options of coming over to c4. Oh no, on this I take here. What about this? Okay, yeah. Rook here. This chess game. Here, check, back. Takes. Pawn start rolling. Here, I don't see anything better because what am I playing on this? Let's go for it. I think king goes here, so the bishop can always come back. Oh, maybe I should have played rook. No, I get forked. Oh, then this. Ah! And this. And this. And this. God, this game's annoying. This takes. Can I stop the pawns? I don't know. Could do with them not having. Yeah, maybe maybe giving them 3 pawns is too many. The coordination's too good. Yeah, I thought I was winning one there. Maybe just this. And pushes. I don't know. Started, so we'll finish. Don't even know if taking there whether I should just go after this one, but I feel like now I can get around the back. If you play this. Don't know. Takes there. Well, it's not mate because I've got this. This is interesting. I mean, this is not pretty. Yeah, maybe you just roll this way. I lost here. Here. Yeah. I need to keep the rook on here to. Can't move the king. And then this comes. Yeah. Uh-oh. Any stalemate ideas? I'm just going to play e4, e3, e2. Is there any stalemates? Like push these to get rid of all of them. Take here. No. We stay above 2200 just. Just getting grinded out. Bishop wants to go on d3. Yeah, that's a fine move. Okay, so we played this all fine. +2, +3. That's what I said. Okay, it likes a4. Interesting. a4, b4. You take the pawn. King up and I take back. Okay. Didn't get that, did we? I played knight there, which I thought was pretty good. Oh, okay, it liked a4 immediately. hole. So here it like pushing. Takes, forcing the bishop out here, then playing it. If I do this, then they push. Is that the castle that it wants? And what do I do here? Yeah, it's still kind of level. So is there anything here? Here you play g4 here, but not here. I thought on this one he gets an infiltration square, g4 here. Suppose you take, push, and you insert takes, 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 takes. Takes, takes, you get your rook in. Bishop defends the pawn, I think that's probably the bit that I missed. Okay, and this is plus 2.6 because this pawn. This is only for 2 pawns this way. Right. And if they just go for the bishop trade, find like we can. Yeah, this is what I said. I'd have the open C file, so it should be a slight advantage for me, and the open F file. This, I do this rook, wouldn't I? Yeah, fine. And there. So I looked at the right kind of tactics, just the wrong timing, and that now. That's right. That's right. King g3 here to stop the rook from coming in. Yeah, played all the. Yeah, played loads of good moves. This is -4. -6. Yeah, and after that I was just toasted.